مرحبا أهلا وسهلا بكم. Welcome again to our Gateway to Arabic series. With me, Dr. Imran Alawiye. Today's lesson we are going to continue learning our vocabulary using root letter system. And root letters of today are Dal, Ra and Sin. Darasa, and that is verb to study. Darasa. So, Darasa means he studied. If you want to say she studied, you will say Darasat. And the present tense of Darasa is Yedrusu. He studies. And the present tense of Darasat is Tedrusu. She studies. Let's put them into some simple sentences to help us retaining them. You can ask me a question and say, Imran, where did you study the Arabic language? In Arabic you say, أين درست اللغة العربية يا عمران؟ أين درست اللغة العربية يا عمران? Where did you study the Arabic language, Imran? And my answer would be درست اللغة العربية في المملكة العربية السعودية. I studied the Arabic language in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. درست اللغة العربية في المملكة العربية السعودية. If you're asking a lady, a woman, the same question, you say, أين درستي اللغة العربية يا زينب? Where did you learn or where did you study the Arabic language, Zainab? And the answer may be درست اللغة العربية في مصر. I studied the Arabic language in Egypt. Or في سوريا, in Syria. Or في السودان, في السودان. درست اللغة العربية في السودان. I studied the Arabic language in the Sudan. Okay. I may then ask you a question. I will say, وأنت, mean to a man, وأنت, and you, أين تدرس? I use in the present tense. أين تدرس اللغة العربية الآن or حاليا? Currently, where do you study the Arabic language, or where are you studying the Arabic language? أين تدرس اللغة العربية حاليا? That's mean currently. You may then answer the question as I expect you to say. أدرس العربية على الشابكة. I am studying the Arabic language online or on the internet. Let's ask a woman the same question. We say وأنت instead of وأنت. وأنت أين تدرسين instead of تدرس. وأنت أين تدرسين اللغة العربية حاليا? And you, where are you studying the Arabic language currently, at the moment? And she may answer the same question. أدرس العربية على الشابكة. I am studying the Arabic language online. The next question is, with whom? I wonder. مع من? With whom? مع من? And the answer would be, as I expected, as usual, مع Dr. Imran. With Dr. Imran. Who else? With Dr. Imran. مع Dr. Imran. Next question. How many times a week do you study the Arabic language? كم مرة في الأسبوع تدرس اللغة العربية؟ كم مرة في الأسبوع تدرس اللغة العربية? How many times a week do you study the Arabic? Your answer may be three times a week. How do we say that? You will say أدرس اللغة العربية 3 مرات في الأسبوع. أدرس اللغة العربية 3 مرات في الأسبوع. I study the Arabic language 3 times a week. If you want to say 3 days a week, you will say أدرس اللغة العربية 3 أيام. 3 أيام في الأسبوع. I study the Arabic language 3 days a week. Next question, more curiosity. How many hours a day that you study the Arabic? كم ساعة في اليوم؟ كم ساعة في اليوم تدرس فيها اللغة العربية؟ كم ساعة في اليوم? How many hours a day? Be honest. I expect you to be studying 1 hour a day. Yeah? Or half an hour is sufficient. You can say أدرس اللغة العربية لمدة ساعة. أدرس اللغة العربية لمدة ساعة تقريبا كل يوم. So I study the Arabic language for at least an hour every day. أدرس اللغة العربية لمدة, that means for the period of لمدة ساعة تقريبا, approximately, كل يوم, every day. Now, let's now bring in the noun which is directly derived from darasa, and that is dars. Dars means lesson or simple study. The plural is durus, lessons, durus. Okay, how do we say private lessons, for instance? Private lessons. So private lessons would be, in Arabic, would be durusun khususiyatun. Durusun khususiyatun. Private lessons, private tuitions. Okay, what else? Interactive lesson. How do we say that? An interactive lesson. And that would be darsun tafa'uli. Darsun tafa'uli. An interactive lessons. Okay, finally, let's if I want to ask you a question at the end of the lesson, say, oh, what do you think of today's lesson in Arabic? What do you think of today's lesson? So I would say, ما رأيكم, addressing you as a plural, but as a singular male, I would say, ما رأيك. If I'm talking to a singular female, I say, ما رأيك. So let's use a plural. ما رأيكم. What's your opinion? What do you think of ما رأيكم في درس اليوم? What's your opinion of today's lesson? I hope you will say درس اليوم, today's lesson, رائع جدا, رائع, منتهى الروعة, غاية الروعة. رائع means fantastic. في غاية الروعة, that's mean wonderful, amazing. So درس اليوم, today's lesson, رائع, في منتهى الروعة. Yes, another word which is directly derived from darasa is dirasa. Dirasatun means study. Plural is dirasat, studies. In a sentence, for instance, if you want to say this matter needs careful study, for instance, that's in the careful consideration. So you will say هذا الأمر, that means this matter, this issue, هذا الأمر يحتاج إلى دراسة دقيقة. This matter needs careful study, careful consideration. هذا الأمر يحتاج إلى دراسة دقيقة. Okay, what else can we say about dirasa? For instance, if you say Institute of Social Studies, for instance, that would be معهد الدراسات الاجتماعية. معهد الدراسات الاجتماعية, and that is institute, that's معهد دراسات, and that is studies, اجتماعية, that means social. معهد الدراسات الاجتماعية, Institute of Social Studies. One more example. For instance, if you apply for something and you are checking it up, you can be told to say, your application is still under consideration or under study. And that will be in Arabic, طلبك, to a man, or طلبك, to a woman. طلب means your application. So طلبك ما زال طلبك تحت الدراسة. Your application is still being considered, still under study. ما زال طلبك وطلبك تحت الدراسة. Another word which comes directly from darasa is this time is adjective, dirasi. Dirasi. For example, if you want to say the academic year, for instance, and that would be al-aamu dirasi. Al-aamu dirasi, that's mean academic year. Also, you can say as-sanatu dirasiyya. That's again mean academic year. So al-aamu dirasi or as-sanatu dirasiyya. So the beginning of the academic year is bidayatul aam dirasi or bidayatul sanati dirasiyya. The end of the academic year is nihayatul aam dirasi or nihayatu al-sanati ad-dirasiyya. Okay. What else? Let's the most obvious one, of course, is school, madrasa. Madrasa comes directly from darasa. Madrasa is school. For instance, you can say madrasatun khassa, and that's mean private school. A private school, madrasatun khassa. What else? What about primary school is madrasat ibtidaiyya. Madrasatun ibtidaiyya. And middle school, madrasa mutawassita. Madrasa mutawassita. And secondary school, madrasatun thanawiyya. That's secondary school. Another word which we can derive directly from darasa is daris. Darisun, and that is active participle. Ismu fa'il. Daris, meaning a learner. What about another word is passive participle, ism maf'ul, and that's a madrus. Again, that's coming directly from darasa. Madrus is studied, something which is being well considered. Madrus. So you can say هذه المسألة, this matter, madrusatun. It has been considered, it's been studied very well. Madrusatun jiddan. It has been well studied. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is, let's look at another form of verb which is coming from darasa, and that's form 2. When we double the second root letter, which is ra, we say darasa. So instead of darasa, we say darasa. We double the ra, and that's actually mean to teach. Darasa, he taught. درست, she taught. And present tense is يدرس, he teaches or teaching, and for a woman of being تدرس. Okay, so درس يدرس, درست تدرس. For instance, you can say as a sentence, from that actually we can have مدرس. مدرس comes directly from درس. That's a teacher, a male teacher, مدرس, and a female teacher is مدرسة. So for instance, in a sentence we can say, what's the name of the teacher that's teaching you the Arabic language? Yeah, why not? So, masmu, that's me, what's the name of? Masmu al-mudarrisi. Masmu al-mudarrisi alladhi yudarrisuka al-lughata al-arabiyya. Masmu al-mudarrisi alladhi yudarrisuka or yudarrisuki al-lughata al-arabiyya. What's the name of the teacher that is teaching you the Arabic language? مسمو المدرس الذي يدرسك اللغة العربية. And guess who? Dr. Imran هو الذي يدرسني اللغة العربية على الشبكة. Dr. Imran is the one who is teaching me the Arabic language online or on the internet. الدكتور عمران هو الذي يدرسني أو هو مدرسي, is my teacher. هو مدرسي على الشبكة, is my teacher on the internet. Here we are. So that's درس يدرس, and then you have مدرس, a teacher. What else? Coming directly from درس is a noun. So درس يدرس تدريس. So تدريس means teaching. تدريس, that's mean teach. For instance, you can say أحب التدريس جدا. I love teaching. أحب التدريس جدا. I love teaching. And then you can say teaching is a very rewarding profession. So how do we say that? You say التدريس مهنة مجزية جدا. التدريس مهنة مجزية جدا. Teaching is a very rewarding profession. Indeed, I concord with that. I agree totally. Now, here we go. We have now managed to talk about few words that's directly derived from darasa, and you can see they all have connection with idea of study, teaching, idea of consider things together. So please, I beg you, buy for yourself an exercise book or flashcard. Each lesson, collect the vocabulary and look at it on a regular basis. And before we finish, please don't forget to extend your hands of help to my charity place. We're trying to build an educational resource center in my hometown, Ogbomoso, southwestern Nigeria, for the children of my hometown. Please extend your help to us. And thank you so much for a few of you who have done so. The links below will lead you to our website, helpinghandsforeducation.org. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time, inshallah. In the meantime, مع السلامة, إلى اللقاء, في أمان الله.